Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football. I'm Harper LaBelle, and today our show on draft prospect profile, along with Vincent Turner, our host and co-founder. By the way, we are produced and engineered by Logan Landers. Thank you so much, Logan. Today we're going to look at Billy Bowman, safety out of the University of Oklahoma. And my over-under is going to be 3 on how many times Vincent's going to say Boomer, Sooner, and start singing the fight song. But he loves getting to talk about great players, and we certainly have one of Oklahoma's finest coming out this year. One of the things about Bowman, he's a great tackler. He's a very good coverage guy, whether it be a tight end, wide receiver, or even a running back. He can do it all. So the one discrepancy that I have, and we'll talk about his size in just a minute, but first and foremost, Vincent, welcome to this episode, and we get to talk about one of your guys here from the University of Oklahoma, and that is Billy Bowman.
True center fielder. Bring you back of the days, as I hate to say it, Boomer Sooner, Sky Case in the house today. Tremendous football player that was a playmaker at a high level. When you talk about safeties coming to draft, even though I think his rankings are a little bit low, I really think he's a guy that can ease up into the first round based on his production at Oklahoma. And you look at that school and all the great DBs and had from, like I said, Mr. Case to Ricky Dixon. Man, this gentleman is a football player. Out of Billy Ryan High School, Denton, Texas. One more can you say? Back to you, Harp.
Well, he's a type of defender that is a center fielder, as you mentioned, and a ball hawk. 6 interceptions his junior year. He had another 2 this past season. But one of the discrepancies that you have is if you got the speed, can you hit? Are you a good tackler? And can you cover? Those are some of the prerequisites that you would have to have, right? Well, one of the things that you look at Billy Bowman, he's 5'10". He weighs about 200 pounds. So he's a little bit smaller than what the league is asking everybody to be right now. Generally 6'1" or taller, 205, 215, somewhere in that range. But at 200 pounds, he's built like a brick. And that's the thing about him that I think will carry over. He's got ball hawking skills. He knows where the ball is coming out, that he's got a chance in an angle to where if he does have a chance to deflect it or get the interception, he can do it, but he also will make the tackle. Now, he does have to work on his tackling skills. Everybody does, but that's certainly one of the things that is a prowess for this young man, and his ability to be able to use that IQ and to be able to read the field. When he studies film and sees the route progression and knows it and recognizes it instantly when that ball's in the air, he can change direction and react with his guys as good as anybody that's out there. So I think his chances are high. He's not a number 1 pick right now, and I think his size has a lot to do with that. But I also would say that a really good combine, he runs a 4.6, 4.4, 4.3. That will certainly increase everybody's eyes to look on him a lot more favorably.
Boomer Sooner. Safety. What you like in the safety? Read the quarterback eyes at a high level. Explosive when he's in coverage with closing speed. Got a little honey badger who's played a lot in this league. Tyrone Matthew. Got the skills of an Ed Reed. Look at his interceptions for his career total. I don't know. Maybe you can get us to us later, Hart. But most of all, when I saw him last year, I thought he had a better year his junior year. 6 picks, but 3 for touchdowns. To me, that's NFL quality. To me, as you said, Mr. Harper LaBelle, football IQ at a high level, A+. As I mentioned earlier, true center fielder. And most of all, to production as a tackler. 7 tackles against LSU this year, 5 tackles against Alabama this year, 8 tackles against Ole Miss this year, 8 tackles against Auburn. I love this football player from Boomer Sooner, Norman, Oklahoma. Yours truly, Billy Bowman. Back to you, Mr. LaBelle.
So at 5'10", 200 pounds, if your speed increases, if your technique gets worked on a little bit, if you learn to have fewer one-arm tackles and you're able to bring guys down between now and the draft to where you can show folks that you're making improvement on all of that, you may go from a 3rd to a 2nd or a 2nd to a 1st day type of draft pick. 55 tackles, 3 passes deflected, 2 interceptions this senior year, he had two fumble recoveries, and one of those was for a touchdown. So he was around the ball, and he can make some plays. Obviously, that big win that they had at the end of the year to beat Alabama, people will be watching that. And what did he do to inhibit the University of Alabama in their passing game from getting the ball down the field? He was obviously a contributor and a big part of that. Making big plays, being around the ball, being a physical enforcer. Those are the types of things that Billy Bowman was able to do. Any final thoughts before we move on with Billy, though? A great safety, a guy that can get near the ball, has some things he needs to work on, obviously. You can't work on getting taller, but you can work on the Tyrann Mathieu Honey Badger type of enforcer, especially against the run that so many teams are doing in the National Football League. Might have a very long career because of his ability to adapt, be versatile, to adjust, and be able to do multiple things. Safety, maybe move up to be an outside linebacker on some plays, and a ball hawk. Those are all things that he has in his benefit. Vincent?
I wouldn't be surprised. He'd be one of the players that we talk about moving up in the draft when we get around March and April. Outstanding character. The guy's already graduated. Tremendous football players played at a school that's had so many great defensive players from the Bars. I just mentioned Scott Case, the Salmon brothers. He's in that class. And think about this. Even though Oklahoma didn't win the last 2 years at a high level, even though they struggled in the SEC, go look in his game film. He was the most consistent defensive player on the side of the ball outside Danny Stinsman. This guy's a football player. I love him. Boomer, Sooner. Dun, 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 dun. Back to you, Mr. Harper LaBelle.
Well, whether it be man-to-man or zone coverage, your ability to change on the fly and be able to find the ball, he has all of that. So Billy Bowman from the University of Oklahoma is a featured safety that we think will have a great NFL future. We hope that you think that he has that same type of possibility. And we'll be reviewing him and some other players throughout the remainder of this offseason, getting ready for the draft. We appreciate you being a part of today's 100 Yards of Football. So on behalf of it, beyond of the endorsement of Vincent Turner and Logan Landers, our producer and engineer, I'm Harper LaBelle saying thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is our Draft Prospects Profile. We appreciate you being a part of the show today. Have a great rest of your